Yeah, is the VIP host community, is that like a thing? Like,
so the bussers aren't like the bussers that we have here that are like Mexicans that are strong as to carry up fucking, all that shit on one hand. These guys are like good looking models, like the girls.
Yeah.
The VIP hosts, we're not models, all right? We all look like how we look.
Yeah, that's how they hire them out there, huh? You got to be good looking to be a busser even.
The servers all they all date the bussers.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
They date the bussers and then they accidentally get pregnant by the security guards.
Exactly.
all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin.
All right, we're ready? You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's rip, baby. Welcome to the Party with Strategy podcast. Very special guest who I was a little nervous that he wasn't going to show up. When I got that phone call and I heard how bad you were hurting, I know you were in your bed. The room was still dark. You didn't even know the sun was up yet. I could tell. I know. I've been there.
That was me.
But thankfully you're here because it's better late than never. There's a lot of times when people actually don't even show up. So thank you, honestly, for being here.
Appreciate it.
I'm excited. You were nominated by Nico to be next on the pod from Liquor Box. Friday Nights at Liquor. If you're in Chicago, it's the best party out there.
For sure.
Let's be honest.
It's a fun house.
It is a fun house. It feels good in there.
Yeah.
It feels good because it's so familiar. Like, when I first started DJing in that scene and shit, I was at Time and like I have such a connection to that place. And when I'm in there, it's like it's that same room. It's got the same vibe to it. I'm like, this is good.
And all of us like to have fun there. Like the staff is really fun. The girls will, if you become cool with the girls where they know you as a regular or just someone in the industry that frequents the place, they're gonna be your friends. Like they're gonna make you laugh. We'll go to dinners with you. Like we all do life with the people that come to Liquor Box.
Yeah, it's a little family.
Yeah, nice dinners, whatever it may be. Like just festivals, hanging out with each other, all of that. It's really cool.
Hell yeah,
sure.
I like that. But JAMEL Judah, did I say that right?
Yep.
Judah. All right, good. I was practicing before you came.
Good.
The Palestinian Puerto Rican,
That's
the
right.
man himself, been in this industry for a while. When I first started DJing in River North and like getting into the nightclub scene and shit, and the whole send nudes thing was happening, you weren't here. You were in LA, I believe.
Vegas.
You were in Vegas?
Vegas, yeah.
And I remember like the whole send nudes thing was happening and you were upset about it. I think you're friends with the girl
that created it or whatever,
who had the website.
She kept harassing me, telling me this guy that and I was like, I don't know him. At the time I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
She's like, you got to tell him something and all this shit. I was like, all right, I'll say so. I don't remember what I said to you.
I think you
I
think you posted on like social media or something like there's a fraud in the city or like some shit like that.
Thank God I'm not like that anymore.
And I remember being like, who is this guy? Because I was new to the scene. And then like I was friends with Dolo, who had been in the scene for a longer time. He's like, that's JAMEL. I know him. And a lot of people obviously knew you. But then you came back. When did you move back to Chicago?
Fuck, I don't even remember.
Had to be like 2016, maybe 17.
2016.
Yeah.
Yep. I went over there to help open up Jewel nightclub.
Nice.
I went over there because Colin from Tao, awesome guy, he reached out to me. He was, I worked with him in Chicago on and off. He was one of the guys that ran Rhino, which Rhino was a sick ass spot.
Rhino is Stout used to be Rhino, right?
No,
or was it Boardroom?
Rhino used to be Boardroom.
Okay.
And Boardroom was fucking fun. I loved Boardroom.
Yeah.
The showers, all that stuff. But Stout was Manor.
That's right.
And so he was like one of the main guys for that, like high up guy. Went to Vegas, became like the fucking king of Vegas because he was like running Light Group, Daylight and Light. And he said, why don't you come to Vegas and work down there, be a VIP host down there, which is a while ago. But being a VIP host in Vegas, if you have the clientele, you can make $100+ grand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not hard to. And then you can make a lot of money. You can make money in like 10 different ways in Vegas.
And the right clientele for a VIP host, like if you have, the people that are really out here spending money and partying like that and shit are going to Vegas frequently, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's another thing that's good about Vegas. You're down there and you're getting everyone from every other city. So all your friends that are in other cities, they're flying in. So you're just sitting there hanging out, and they're coming to you every week.
And you also probably become the guy, right? Like anyone, my boys are going to Vegas for something, and I'm like, oh, my boy JAMEL's out there. Let me link you with him.
Yeah, exactly. You know, everyone has a guy.
Yeah.
You know, but there's only a few guys out there that are the guys. I would say each property has like the 2 or 3 guys that are the guys. And, you know, but they also know and will send everything to the other guys of the other properties.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a little network where they just keep it flowing between themselves.
Yeah, is the VIP host community, is that like a thing? Like DJs, we have like our DJ community, whatever. You go to a different city, you get linked up with someone. Oh, my boy, I was in New York, I got linked with M. Ortiz. He let me like stay at his crib, show me around. Everyone, like someone vouched for me, and he was like, all right, cool. And then we met, and now we're friends, and I'll tell people about him when they're there. It's 100%. Like a whole thing. Same kind of deal?
Same deal, you know. Like, hey, I got a guy out there that's coming, please take care of him. Now I'm being friends with this guy because I know he's very close to that guy that you know runs them over there.
Yeah,
it's definitely a tight community. In Vegas, you know, when you go on promo, you had to go on the nights that you weren't working. You pretty much went to the other venues that had the industry night going, like let's say Monday, Tuesday, Encore Beach Club, whatever, you know. And you know, you're there on promo with the servers and the VIP host, and maybe the model bussers is what they call them. So the bussers aren't like the bussers that we have here that are like Mexicans that are strong as fuck, that can carry up fucking, you know, all that shit on one hand and shit. These guys are like good looking models, like the girls.
Yeah.
The VIP hosts, we're not fucking models, all right? We all look like how we look.
Yeah. These
guys are models and the girls are models, you know.
That's how they hire them out there, huh? You got to be good looking to be a busser even.
The servers all love, they all date the bussers.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
They date the bussers and then they accidentally get pregnant by the security guards.
Exactly. Or maybe the VIP host can, like, you know, get one here and there, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's
the bussers own the girls in Vegas.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's fire.
Good for them.
So, all right, you started as a VIP host in Chicago, right? How long before 2016? When was that?
I started as a promoter.
Oh, shit.
And I worked for Global Adrenaline, which is like Christian and Big Steve and all these guys. We had a great team. Like, and then
Big Steve from Moe's. Yeah. Okay. He was a promoter. I didn't even know that. I should get him on here.
Dude, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's solid. But started with them out of the military. I got out the military. I was coming out from like the military on and off. My cousin got me into the scene where I was like, holy shit, all these clubs are fucking gorgeous. Like aesthetically, the clubs back then were like boutique nightclubs. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
And you could not get in if you didn't look well, like you didn't dress well. Now, Spy Bar was still around, and like I worked for Spy Bar before. Like that shit was different. Like you didn't have to dress up for that. But, you know, Mid, you didn't have to dress up for that. Crowbar, you had to look good no matter what. But back then, if you didn't look good, if you didn't even have a jacket on, they wouldn't let you in.
Yeah.
You know? But we went into all these clubs. I fell in love with it. And then I was like, these guys are promoters making all this money. They're making like $1,000 a night and shit, you know? And I was like, hold on, I can do this.
Yeah.
You know, met everyone, became a promoter. Surreal was around then. So like Brian Surreal from Vegas, big guy.
Mike Surreal. Is he still around?
He's around, like he comes out for a drink here and there, but I didn't know who he was back then. I didn't even know if I knew him back then. It was Brian's show. This guy is huge. And
I've seen that guy a few times.
He killed it. He was killing the game. So it started from there, and then went to, you know, was with Y Bar a lot. Y Bar was the sexiest place. Then I went to the Wit Hotel, and that's when I really started my VIP host journey.
Was it still roof on the Wit back then? Is that what it was?
Yep, roof on the Wit. Yeah. And they didn't have the retractable roof at the time, but I was there when they first put that on. So that's where I really started VIP hosting, getting big clients and all that. That's how I got my momentum, was from big clients that were spending. I would have $1 million guy.
Yeah.
And so you got $1 million guy, you can leverage him all around the whole city, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
I had a few of those guys.
So what's the most amount of money somebody spent with you as their host in a night? I got to imagine you know that number,
80,
right?
80 some thousand. It was the guy that I was talking. He's one of my best friends to this day, Rob Simrad. He spent like about $80,000+. He bought
at one spot,
and not just one spot. He did it at Municipal.
No.
Yes, because
Stop.
Yes, he spent $1 million, like 1.9 million that year, but he spent a lot. We needed a spot to go to before he went into Cuvée, and Cuvée was like his thing, you know. And before Cuvée, we'd go hang out with like the Fakuris and stuff because they were our friends. And Sam Fakuri and Amjad Fakuri, they owned Municipal, you know.
Okay.
So we were in there, and Rob would just go crazy in there, man. We were buying Ace of Spades rosé for Municipal, like we sold more Ace of Spades than any other club in the city of Chicago, and that was a sports bar.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Small sports bar.
It was right there next to the parking lot when you get off on Ohio, right?
Yeah, it's the weed dispensary now.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I just bought some weed from there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, 6 liter of Ace Rosé, all that stuff. We would have like 10 girls, just me and him, 10 girls, and one big security guard. It kind of babysat us both, you know, and we'd watch him go crazy, and it was like a hurricane.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. I don't know if I ever actually went to Municipal because that was kind of around back in the beginning. I think I was still like at Stout and Parlor.
Parlor's cool, man.
Parlor's dope. Stout's opening back up. They're going to be Rhino Bar. Yeah.
I was talking to Mike Felton yesterday at Texan Taco. Shout out to Mike Felton. He is going to be one of the guys running Rhino Bar.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I saw a little bit. They got a lot of stuff in there that's going to be fun. So we'll see how it goes.
I saw some videos too. I was hanging out at Parlor talking to some people. It looks really dope.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I'm excited.
They got some like I think they have like a little secret members room in there too and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see how it's going to do in that area.
Yeah.
On that street. And I'm curious to see how the company is going to help fill that place, because I think it's going to be busy, to be honest.
I think it's going to be super busy.
Yeah.
Stout was even in that area before, like it's kind of off the beaten path from any other spots, but now there's Tao there.
Exactly.
It's not too far.
True.
So I think it's going to do even better, and I hope that they could bring like a nice breath of fresh air back into River North, keeping a clean crowd and really doing like a more of an upscale kind of thing.
For sure. I agree. I mean, River North right now is, you know, it's tough. It's a tough area. You know, it's a lot of businesses are now into the West Loop. A lot of people are fucking with the West Loop, and West Loop's a beautiful place. You know, the restaurants are amazing. The restaurant game is becoming more of a club thing. Back before, it was boutique nightclubs in Chicago. Then it became Hefe and this high energy bar.
Yeah.
Which is then Bottle Blonde, Concrete, whatever. Bounce, right?
Yeah.
And now it's restaurants with high energy.
I think they're like clubstaurants, right? It's like that Miami thing where you go to dinner and then at midnight is the show, and they turn up and they do something that signifies like, okay, dinner's over, now it's time to party.
Exactly.
Like Lyra, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like Lyra, like what else? Well, you know, speaking of Lyra, like that's the company I work for now, is Dynamic Group. Great company, great people. Everyone's about their job. They're going to be opening up a new French restaurant in the area, which will have that high energy appeal.
It's in West Loop?
West Loop.
Dope.
So they'll have that high energy thing going too. I think members room and all that stuff too. So
I like that. I was going to ask, like, you know, from the beginning of when you started working in this industry, when you started promoting, what do you think it was? You think 2011?
2013. 12, yeah.
How many, like, from where it was then to where it is now, has it gone full circle in any way? Has there been a cycle of, just in terms of like anything that maybe you've noticed, like the crowds changing, the way that you had to be super dressed up and now you don't anymore, but I kind of feel like people are wanting to inch back into that. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like it's coming back around.
Yes. And I think River North is due for a place like that. Yeah. Where it's going to be, and you know, if it's going to happen, I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely turned all the way full circle to now people want to show that they have money. People want to look like money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No one wants to, right now, media and everything else has showed everything to, if you look broke, no one wants to fuck with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one wants to fuck with someone that's broke. No women do, no man do, no nothing.
But there's like two different styles of looking like you have money. Exactly. There's like I wear a suit and nice shoes and shit. And then there's like, I wear basketball jerseys, but it's the most expensive jersey you could get in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
But these people know. I might not know. I can't tell sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part, I could tell certain things that really stand out. Belt, watch, shoes, right? But like these fucking designer shit, sometimes I don't fucking know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I could care less. But yeah, these girls and other guys, they'll fucking know. Oh, that's the fucking name. They'll know the name of the fucking shoe. And I'm like, I don't fucking know what Jordans this is. I just like they're all black, you know, or whatever. All white and black, whatever.
But you're like from the army. Were you... Dressing nice, I feel like, is kind of your thing. You're always dressed nice, even though you're hungover and you came fucking last minute, threw something together for this podcast. You're still dressed nice, got the slacks on, the black button up. Like when you're at work, you're always in a suit. I got to imagine that came from the army, or were you like that even before?
I think dealing with, I'm always put together. I'm always put together, but I think just dealing with the type of clientele that you're dealing with, you always have to look you have to be presentable in some way, you know?
Yeah.
If I'm sitting here trying to talk to some dude that I'm trying to get to spend $3,000, you never think 1,000, 2,000. You're thinking like, this guy's probably going to spend 3,000 or 4,000. You could tell. And, you know, sometimes they want to talk to someone that looks a certain way. They're not really trying to mess with the guy that, you know, looks a little raggedy. That's a VIP host trying to run up and say, hey, let me sit you down, whatever.
Yeah.
Connect with them. But, you know, they want someone that knows what they're doing, that's on point. I want to know what you want before you come in. Like, a lot of people that I host, I know what they want before they come in, you know, so it's there, it's ready, they're happy, and they don't have to worry about nothing but signing that bill.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I like that. Cause I was talking to you about this on Friday at Liquor, cause Cam came through, Cam Patterson, and that's like his thing is wearing sandals. He's always got sweatpants on, a white tee, and sandals with socks. Like,
yeah, so
it was a little tough to get him in. We got him in.
I don't know how you got him in.
We got him in. I convinced Nico to let him in. I mean, the kid's blowing up. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna start seeing that kid like everywhere,
I believe it.
And you're gonna be like, oh, this is the fucking kid who had his sandals on, who we didn't want to let in the liquor box.
And I'll be like, I know that guy.
But I was telling you, I remember when you were yelling at me about the sandals, because I was at Bottle Blonde in the middle of the whole Send Nudes thing. I'm doing my thing, being the biggest scumbag on earth. I'm fat. My beard's out to here. I was killing it, but I just like aesthetics looking like a certain way was not like, I tried my hardest to look the opposite of like presentable. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That was kind of part of it.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was part of your character. Like you were saying, I'm here to have fun.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. But I remember being at Bottle Blonde with my sandals on, and you're like, I'm going to Underground, and you're like, I want to get you into Underground, but put some fucking shoes on, bro. Like, just at least do me one favor, put some fucking shoes
Button up your shirt. Yeah. It's unbuttoned. Button up your shirt, put some shoes on.
Yeah.
That's so
great.
Fun. Yeah, I remember that. Bottle Blonde was like one of my favorite bars ever.
Bro, it was, I don't know what percent it chops up to at the end of the day, but it was a certain percent Bottle Blonde itself, the aesthetics of that place, the feel in there, the room, the fun, the fact that it was a bar, and also, you know, a party bar, like you were talking, like the Hefes and the high energy bars. And I think there was a small part of it being like the neighbors wanting to shut it down from the jump, like it not supposed to be there. That might have had something to do with it. But it was a huge part of the people that were in there. Yeah. Because I've been to all the other Bottle Blondes. I just came from Houston Bottle Blonde, and I walk in that place, I want to kill myself. Yeah. It doesn't feel like...
It was our cheers. Yeah. And you know what? It's, you know, it's a testament to the people that opened it, you know, that it was so good. You know, they came in from other cities, and then they broke up and they went to go open up other Bottle Blondes, and that's how they do their thing. And, you know, they've been successful. But Bottle Blonde was awesome. You know what else too? Like that the second floor never got to be utilized, and that floor could have been a whole nother thing.
Yes, they wanted it to be. I remember hearing like
they didn't let the city didn't allow it.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, okay, so I don't know that I've ever really explained this on a pod before. I've explained it a million times to people who have asked, but what happened to Bottle Blonde Chicago is that they were from Arizona and they come here to open up a new spot. It's going to be their second location. Now they have like 4 or 5, I think, but this was like Arizona was the first one. Chicago was their second one. So it was their first time going to a new city doing this.
Yeah.
And they linked with someone, who was their point guy in the city, because they're obviously not from here. Right. They link up with someone who's from here, who knows his way around, knows everyone. Chicago's kind of like a handshake city. Yeah. You got to know people. This dude knows people. So they get their liquor license, and this guy told them, get a restaurant license because you'll be able to get it quick. You'll be able to open up rather than a tavern license, which is what you're supposed to have for a bar.
Yep.
So they get the restaurant license because they are a restaurant. They serve a lot of pizza. They serve a lot of food, this and that. And then they're going to open up, and the neighbors find out about it. They're in, River North, which is the party area, but they're not on Hubbard Street. They're a little off the beaten path. They're on Wells, big condos over here across the street, neighbors. Anyone that lives in that area has got money. They're all rich people. They're all plugged into the city somehow. And then, they start looking at Bottle Blonde. They're like, oh, there's going to be a pizzeria opening here. Like, let's check it out. Let's see what it is. They start going on the website and the social media and shit, and they see that it's a party. Like, the girls are in their lingerie. It's a nightclub. Like, and so they protested Bottle Blonde opening before they even opened up the doors. They found out what was going on, and they started protesting it and trying to get rid of it before they even opened. And then the lawsuit happens. The neighbors sue them, or they get the city together. The city sues them. Whatever happens, where they found out that, like, you guys are supposed to be a restaurant, but you're operating as a nightclub. You have a restaurant license. We want to shut you down, this and that. So Bottle Blonde fought that battle from before they even opened up.
I didn't even know that.
So they are operating. I believe that they were ruled pretty early on to get shut down. Like, you guys are operating with the wrong license, so you need to be shut down.
I thought it happened like a year after they were already in the mix.
I'm not sure when the actual ruling came down of when they were like, all right, you lost, shut down. But Bottle Blonde just kept appealing it. They had the best fucking lawyers. They're making all this money. They're doing really well. Everybody loves that place.
It was doing like $12 million a year. The first year was like not that busy. It was getting there, but it wasn't like the place to go to, But then the second year, it became it.
Yes.
It was it. It was the city.
And everybody loved that place. Anybody, patrons, industry folks, employees, like anyone that worked there, anyone that set foot in there loved it. It was great. The energy was great.
The food was good too.
The food was good. The people were the best. It was just, it was cheers. It's like you said, that's exactly what it is. So they're doing great. They're making money, and they're able to uphold this lawsuit. They keep appealing the decision to get shut down. And while you're under appeal, you can operate.
Yeah.
So they're operating, and they're paying their extreme rent, whatever it is, to rent a fucking huge spot in River North like that. And then on top of that, they're also paying the fees for the lawyers to keep it open. But it's working, because at the end of the day, they're coming out green.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that had been happening through Bottle Blonde's entire existence, was the neighbors battling to shut them down. And then finally COVID hits. Everything shut down. Now there's no income, but they still, if they want to remain open, still have to pay lawyers to keep up these appeals.
Yeah.
That's when they were like, all right, now it's not worth it.
Yep.
So curtains.
Yeah. I mean, they were making so much money. They were like, fuck it, we'll just keep appealing. We got the money. We got it.
Smart. I mean, hats off to them. That's incredible. I love that. There's like that I think even plays into how much and why people love that place, and why it was such a staple. You know what I mean? Because it has that story.
Yeah, it was a staple too.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would say that Bottle Blonde is the reason why, Hefe was like the place that came in, that created that, to where Bottle Blonde's like, hold on, Hefe's up there making money.
Yeah.
We need to go up there and make some money, right? So now they're going up in there, and now you got Hefe, Bottle Blonde, and now people are like, hold on, I don't want to go to underground and get dressed up.
That's
I don't want to get dressed up.
That kind of was the decline of that whole era, right? Because underground, I remember at the beginning trying to get in. I remember Martin made me change my shirt one time and then still didn't let me in. I came back with a new shirt, with a button-up shirt, collared shirt, and he still didn't let me in.
Martin is a gatekeeper. He was the ultimate gate. That man, by the way, he's killing it at Gino Marty's.
Yeah.
Marty's is awesome place.
Yeah.
Food's awesome. Places, I love it there. He was probably one of the most hated people in Chicago.
Easily.
They love him now.
I love him now too, but even when I first see him, there's just something inside of me that's like, damn, that motherfucker. And then I'm like, wait, hold on, that's my boy now. Like, it's not like that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, he was fucking, oh God, just even thinking about going on, like, I'm trying to fuck a bitch. I'm at Stout. I'm DJing, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to be done in an hour. Like, where are you going? She's like, I'm going to Underground. I'm like, fuck.
Damn it.
You know what I mean?
Go to Underground. Now I got to go change and shit. Martin's not going to let me in.
Yeah.
Martin was running that door so tight. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever ran a door better than Martin. And he was doing $1 million in sales as the door host. So he was still bringing $1 million and doing the door and working corporate during the day.
Damn, I didn't know he had a corporate job too.
Yeah, he was working for Rocket Ranch, and he was like honestly, he killed it. He did everything for the company, marketing wise. Guy's a marketing genius.
Dope. Yeah. I like that.
That's the one you probably want to get in here.
Yeah, I should have him in here. I just saw him actually a couple Thursdays ago at Gino and Marty's. Was my first time there. I wanted to check it out. Yep. Saw him. We had a great night, and then I was supposed to get coffee with him, but we had to reschedule. But yeah, I did. I was going to ask him to come do the pod.
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, he's got a lot of information about the stuff that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't even know where we were when I went off on the Bottle Blonde tangent, but
I think you were just saying that we ended at like the change of like how everyone's more relaxed now with the clothing and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Now we're coming back. Like West Loop is it, man.
West Loop's it, and they're smaller spots. I feel like Bodega's a smaller spot, so you get to run it that way more easily. It's not like, damn, we got all this space to fill. Like, we got to get motherfuckers in here spending money. It's like it's more of a boutique spot. You don't have to let everyone in. You let the people in who are dressed appropriately and who you actually want in there.
Mm-hmm. I think no matter what, everywhere's like everything's hard in getting people in, right? Small, big spot, doesn't matter. I mean, you're hustling to get people in. But Bodega's a very, very good looking club. There's another Bodega now, which is the one in West Loop. The one that I work at, even the one in the West Loop's a small one too.
That's right. I was talking about the West Loop one, but yes, the River North one is dynamic too, right? Yeah. That's right.
And they have, they were here first. Obviously, Bodega that came in is a Bodega from Miami. Which was around probably first, but the original Bodega.
The original Chicago Bodega is on Bodega. Kinsey and Clark, right?
Yeah, right. And you can find it if you go to Barrio. You can ask, hey, where's Bodega at? They'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, I like that spot. And I love that you guys have the drummer in there.
We have the drummer. We have a saxophone, sometimes violinist. I mean, the energy on a Saturday there is insane. Yeah. Like Friday's a really good time. Younger crowd on Friday. A lot of energy, but Saturday there is like I have fun working, running around. I'm like a ping pong ball going back and forth in that little room, but I'm working and hustling. Yeah. Before you know it, the night's over. That's how much fun it is.
Yeah. I got to go in there one day. Yeah, maybe next Saturday I'm off.
Sure. Yeah.
Come in there. Are you there every Saturday?
Every Saturday.
Okay.
Yep. I'll bounce around first. Me and the guys, we'll go to like all the other properties, shake hands and all that.
I'll wear something appropriate.
You'll be all right. You'll be okay.
Thank you.
It's not as tough as it used to be.
Oh yeah, it was for a minute. Super tough. I remember that.
Wear a hat and shit.
Yeah. You know. The older I get, the more I start to respect that. I used to hate it, because I was like, oh, fuck that, like fuck them, fuck that. Exactly. I'm doing me, this and that. But now I'm like, yeah, let's get some nice looking people in here.
They run a tight ship. That whole company runs a tight ship, and they don't mess around. They're just banging it out, opening up places, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, yeah, they're kind of taking over.
Yeah, they're like a Let Us Entertain You almost.
Yeah,
Let Us used to have all those nightlife things going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might get back in the game too.
Is Paris Club? Is anything going on with that? It's just sitting there.
It's an event space maybe now.
That makes sense.
Now remember, Paris Club has 2 venues in it still. Porcelino, the restaurant, and what's that? Ramen
San. And those are both still open, right?
Yeah, those are both open, but that is the building.
Yeah.
So like that, I mean, how fucking awesome is that? That this, and when they had Paris, so you were getting revenue from 3 different venues. You know, so it was always, whether Paris was dead or not, didn't matter, because they could stay alive because the 2 other venues are making, you know, whatever they're making, they're killing it.
Right.
So, but that space is fucking awesome, man. Man, when Paris first opened, it was probably the most beautiful club I've ever seen in my entire life.
Paris was dope.
They had the outside, you can legit see and look over and see everything, like people walking by and shit.
Yeah.
It was wide open.
Yeah.
And then they can close it.
Yes.
It was the perfect club. It was sexy.
It was great. And it was, for as sexy and beautiful it was like minimalist, I feel like, right? They didn't have like super fancy chandeliers and like it was like the things that they did have in there were perfectly placed, and it looked good, and everything was congruent.
Big booths. Like underground was very simple too, right?
Yep.
But you know, but over there it had the same type of big booths, whatever. The DJ booth was, you know, elevated with that one really cool table.
They just had a table, which was sick. That was sick. Yeah.
The table looked cool as fuck too.
Yeah.
And they had some serious fucking DJs in there. Like Lollapalooza weekend, they had like, you know, Calvin Harris and like, I think they had like a lineup of like 4 top DJs in the world.
Yeah.
In one weekend.
In that small, intimate ass room.
Yeah. All these people, you know, I was like, holy shit. Well, we're going to reap the benefits at Underground because they're all going to come here afterwards.
Right through the alley, baby.
Yep. Right there. Fucking Paris Club. God damn it. I wish they came back.
Yeah, me too. Well, they tried to do the dance studio thing, right? And they sort of remodeled it. You've been in there since they switched it around a little bit. And I like that even too, that new setup they had.
Yeah, that's right. They did do that. Huh.
I hope that they do something with that building or with that space.
That company is so big, they can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
You know, they don't care. We'll hold it.
I heard, I don't know how true this is, but I heard that like they're right next to that hotel, you know, and I heard that like there was complaints from the couple closest rooms to Paris Club, so they were just like, fuck it, we'll just rent those out every weekend or whatever it is.
Oh, really? The rooms?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, just to like no more complaints, you know.
I don't want to hear your mouth anymore.
Yeah,
It's mine now.
Yeah,
yeah, that's great. Gangster stuff. Chicago's cool like that.
Yeah, it is tight. Are you from here?
Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, where are you from? What area?
I grew up in Logan Square.
Oh,
you know,
shit.
so I'm like the Logan Square Humboldt Park guy. Not too far from here even. I grew up in Avondale. I mean, I lived in Avondale too before.
Yeah.
So pretty much family always lived in, you know, by the Hip over there, you know, either the Hip, the Burbs, and then Logan Square, North Side. I'm a North Side guy.
Yeah.
My father, though, is a South Side guy.
Okay.
So I used to be, you know, my parents are separated. I used to go see my father every weekend all the way in the South Side of Chicago. So I was like, so I'm a White Sox fan, but I live in the North Side, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I always got that South Side, like, you know, they say you're the kid from the other side of the tracks and you go from that, you know, that was me.
Yeah.
Even in North Side back then growing up, it wasn't like it was that nice. You know, you get gun pulled on you going to school and you're like a 7th grader. Like, what is going on? You're pulling a gun on a 7th grader, you know?
Yeah. The entire city definitely has some undesirable people doing undesirable things.
Yeah. That was a long time ago now, but that area is nice now, though.
Yeah,
it's decent enough. Right there on Kedzie and Roscoe, in between Addison and Belmont.
Okay.
Joel over there and all that stuff.
Yep. They're by Lane Tech.
By Lane Tech. I used to play basketball every single day right there on Sacramento and Addison. So we call it Sac Park. We used to just go there, kill everyone, then go up to other parks in California and play those kids and beat the shit out of them. We go to park playing to see who's the best players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to the famous park on Orleans? What, Seward, I think, right? Seward?
I played there before. Yeah. We used to play everywhere. Like, if you're a hooper, you played everywhere. You didn't just go to one park, and you want to play against the best people and see what you got, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the kids who were good in basketball in the burbs where I was at did that same thing, but like in the burbs, you know? Yeah. They were too scared to go into the city and do it. Like, we'll go to like Niles and see what's going on.
Basketball was like, you know, like an outlet. Everyone, you can go play basketball with anyone. There was no drama. It was rare if you got fights and drama. Like now, probably be a fight every fucking time you play basketball. You know?
Yeah.
Back then, it was easy.
Yeah,
You can talk hella shit too. You just be talking shit, crazy style. No fighting, no nothing. And you're getting
fun.
personal. You're like stabbing the guy in the back with words. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss that. I miss that, being able to just talk shit and like that. That's it. You know, sometimes you gotta talk a little shit.
Yeah, talking shit's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's like a dance. It's a game.
It's a game.
Yeah,
It's a game.
I like that. So before you went to the Army, what can you remember like what you aspired to do before that? Did you have, before you got into nightlife?
Yeah.
Did you have?
I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to be a cop.
I was in the same boat actually.
I was like, I was playing basketball and I was really good. But then I was like, hold on, I'm not. My cousins will kill it. Like if I like my cousins, we talk about this all the time. They're like, no, we were good, man. I was like, no, we weren't. We were good. We were really good. But I was like, we weren't good enough to play Division 1.
Right.
Okay. If you can't play Division 1, then you're not that good.
And was it more like street ball good?
Like street ball good. I was really good on the court and on street ball.
And with the team?
I was probably better on the court than street ball. Even though I killed it on street ball, but on the court's a different game, you know?
It is 100%. I could barely play basketball on a team. Like I grew up playing 21 at the park. Like that's the only style of basketball I know how to play.
Just one-on-one, killing somebody.
Yeah.
So when I realized that I'm not gonna be in an NBA and shit like that, I was like, man, fuck this. I want to be a cop, you know? And then I was like, you know, I'm not going to school anymore. I'm not going to college anymore. You obviously have to have a certain amount of credits to be able to get on and all this stuff. So I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to get that shit either. I'm going to go to the military. And everyone was going in the military.
Yeah.
You know, everyone in my neighborhood were going in the military. They're all Marines. They all went to war just like me. They all went to combat. And they all became cops too afterwards. And actually, when I came back, that's when they weren't hiring any police officers. They didn't hire any police officer for years. And then when they finally opened up the test, I took it. I got on. I was at the police academy. I was probably close to even graduating. But when I was like looking at my checks, I was like, what the fuck is this? Because now I'm promoting too.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm making I got Semrad out here, $2 million spending in 1 year. I'm fucking loaded. And I'm out making fucking $1,000 every 2 weeks.
And you're having a great time doing it.
Great time. Love what I do.
Yeah.
You know, I was like a player back then too, so I had like women everywhere.
Yeah.
And now I'm making $1,000 every 2 weeks. I'm broke. I can't even pay my bills. I was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna beat someone up because I have a temper. No thank you.
I kind of had the same experience. I left for Arizona. My boys were going to school out there, and then they graduated. We all came back, and I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was DJing a little bit, but I wasn't like doing it for real money or anything like that. And I was planning on becoming a correctional officer and then just being a police officer after that. And I was like, I don't know what. I didn't go to school. I wasn't never a school guy. I'm like, I guess this is what I'll do.
Yeah.
And in between, my dad was like, yo, go get a job. Like, you need a job. My boy owns this bar. Go work at this bar. And I started working in the industry. I was a doorman and then a server and then a bartender.
Oh, shit.
And I started you make good fucking money doing that shit. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not leaving here. Oh, I'm not going, what? I'm not going to get pissed on from an inmate at the correctionals, at the
40K, 45K.
Yeah, no shot. No. So I did that for a couple of years. Probably like 3 years before I switched over to DJing full time.
How'd you like get into DJing?
I got into DJing from making beats. I was probably like 12, and my brother, who's 5 years older than me, so he was like 17, he was rapping. And I played the drums when I was little. I've always been into music and stuff. He started being a rapper, and I was like, well, I'm gonna make beats then. So I started making beats and stuff, this and that, and got into DJing through that and sort of switched over.
Back then, that was really popular. Like my cousins used to make beats, and they're cool as fuck. And like I forgot what rappers back then. They were Ace Mac and all this other stuff. Like really good rappers. I mean, lyrically, they were just like crush it. I'd be like, damn, what the fuck are these guys coming up with this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then they would freestyle, and it'd be a real freestyle. Like some people, like when you see a freestyle now, like TikTok or something, that shit ain't a freestyle.
It's all written.
Yeah, that shit's written.
It's all written.
That shit was like real freestyles back then. Remember back then when they used to like have like the battles, like they would freestyle and battle each other.
Yeah, dude. I have a Scribble Jam DVD still. Remember Scribble Jam? Like the big, it was like, you know, an all-star weekend
Yeah.
for rap
Yeah,
battlers.
exactly. That shit
Yeah.
was cool as fuck. I used to love watching. I was really into. That's how I started as hip hop. I used to be really into hip hop. We're talking like, you know, De La Soul,
Oh, yeah.
Gangstar, Black Star.
It's a DJ Premier vinyl right there.
Yeah. So you get it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I started off with that kind of like, that's how I used to dress too. Like I'd wear like polo, like the actual polo brand.
Yeah.
With the jeans and like the Timbs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That's how I dressed back then. When I was like into hip hop, I was really into hip hop. Then I started switching over a little bit until they're different music.
What do you listen to now? Like if you're in the whip, like what are you playing in the whip?
Right now, I'm listening to like fucking what's it called? Not Daddy Yankee. What's the other guy? The fucker
Bad
name?
Bunny?
Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. I'm putting Bad Bunny. I'm blasting Bad
The new
Bunny.
CD?
Yeah.
Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I understand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you get a little closer connection because the music is good for sure,
He's
but
the
I don't.
Drake of he's the Hispanic Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand the lyrics, so I can't get that deep into it. But the music is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. If you look in to see what the lyrics mean,
Yeah.
you'll be like, damn, this motherfucker's throwing fire.
Yeah, everyone says that, like he's spitting always, and I'm almost a little bit jealous. I almost want to learn Spanish just so I could be a Bad Bunny fan.
Yeah, he's talking shit when he's rapping. He's talking hella shit.
Yeah,
He's like, I got this, you got that, you got nothing. You know, he's talking shit.
yeah. All right. Well, speaking of music, let's get into this little game we play on here sometimes. I'm gonna throw out some songs that were like on the top 100 list of the year, of the time, and you kind of let me know if it sparks any memory of like maybe you were promoting in the club when the song was hot, and you can remember like, you know, you were promoting and the DJ dropped it and then the girl dropped her panties, or you know, some sort of core memory attached to that song. So if you started promoting and stuff in 2013, it would be Macklemore Thrift Shop,
Okay.
Drake Hold On We're Going Home, Capital City Safe and Sound. You remember that one? That was a big club song.
How does it go?
Safe and
Yeah,
Sound.
What do I remember? I would say that
Thrift Shop was a pretty big one
Thrift Shop
too.
was huge. For me, when those songs would come on in the club, I used to be a player. Like I had a lot of girlfriends. All right.
At the same time?
Like at the
Were
same
you one of the,
time.
because like I was into that too, you know, the
At the
game
same
smashing girls and shit, but I was never the guy who dated multiple women. Like I was like, I never want a girlfriend. I don't do girlfriends. But then there's the other, there's the real player who's got like mad girlfriends, which I never understood.
I don't know why I did that to myself.
Yeah, that sounds fucking
It was terrible.
horrendous.
I was just, you know how people rob, you rob Peter to pay Paul? I was doing that with lies.
Yeah,
You know, like,
yes.
Because I'm lying to like, so when I think about music back then, I think about like all the relationships that I had. Like I would have 3 girlfriends in the club, like at Y Bar. I'd be like dating the go-go dancer. My actual girlfriend would be at the table that I was hosting because I had my own table. And then like the bartender knew about them both.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd just be playing like this like musical chairs thing, you know, and I'd be lying my ass off, man. And I would be running and I'd be saying everything that they wanted to hear. I would figure out what they wanted to hear and what made them happy, and I would just overflow their cup with it.
Yeah.
You know, running game.
That's what it is. You look them right in the eyes. You got those nice eyes. You're telling them whatever they want to hear.
Whatever they want to hear, I'm giving them the love.
Everything they were feeling before just kind of melts away.
And it's so much, and it's like real passion because I'm a fucking like intense guy.
Yeah.
You know, out of the military, grew up in the inner city of Chicago, Puerto Rican and Palestinian.
Yeah.
So I'm running game all day long.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
So
awesome.
I'm fucking brainwashing them.
What was the most amount of girlfriends you had at one time, you think?
Well, I would say I probably would like have like 1 or 2, like 2 girls at the same time that are my girlfriends.
Right.
And then like have like a rotation of like 10.
The Stable?
Yeah, it was bad. I was a sicko, man.
Have you ever seen How to Be a Player? Bill Bellamy?
Yeah,
Where
he was in Liquor Box the other day.
He was?
in Beverly Room hanging out.
That's
And I was
awesome.
like, "How to be a player?" He goes, Yeah, that's me. I was like, man, 1942, let's go.
That's awesome. He's switched. He's got the picture frame by his bed of the girl, and then the next one he's got all of them behind each other.
Screensaver, screensaver, like TikTok.
It's too easy to figure out though, because she could just grab your phone and look through your screensavers. You know what I mean? The phone. I feel like the phone is really putting an end to that, all that shit. Even though it's made getting women so much more accessible and easy. You can't be like a real player, like a Bill Bellamy, how to be a player.
I was doing that shit, and I loved that movie too. By the way, I was that guy. It was bad. I think it was like how I was venting from my PTSD. You know what I mean? Like, I was just fucking it out of my system.
Yeah, it's got to get out somehow.
It had to get out, but after a while, you realize like, holy fuck, man, this is drama every week.
Yeah,
every week. But I was young. I had like a lot of energy.
Yeah. It's fun. It's too much fun, dude. Just running around, the feeling of like talking to a new chick and being like the hunt, and like you're like, is she gonna let me? Is she not gonna let me? Where's this?
I already knew I was closing the deal. The deal was closed as soon as. If I was locked in, I knew it was only a matter of time. Especially if they're like regulars, it was only a matter of time before she's mine. There's nothing was gonna stop me.
That's kind of how it felt being in the industry, like really in the industry, like going out, like really trying to grow my DJ brand and like being out every night and being in the thick of it. Was like, if there was a girl who you wanted to smash, you kind of knew you were going to at some point. It's just, when are the stars gonna align?
Exactly.
What night is it gonna be where we're both at the same place and she's mad at the dude she's talking to, and like
swoop in. Yeah, and that I did that a lot. I had a lot of enemies, man. I had a lot of enemies, and it was always because of women.
I feel the same exact way, actually.
Like, I don't know who had a crush on this girl or what happened or whatever. And you know what, too? Like, back then, I think I had like a big mouth. Not like where I was like telling the whole world, but I think that some people that you thought you can trust with information and they wouldn't say anything, they went and gossiped. And then now you're a piece of shit.
Loose lips, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, you were too busy juggling all your girlfriends in the club to remember what was going on in 2013, maybe 2010. Were you in the Army in 2010?
Yeah.
How's that go? I don't know anything about.
I was in for 4 years, and when I was in there, I mean, you sign up. I signed up for 3 years, and I think I signed up in the National Guard first.
Okay.
Because let me test it out. When I went to the National Guard and I went to boot camp and I came back, I was like, I went to like my first, like, what do you call it? Your first drill is what they call it. So you go once a month, right? And now my boys are all Marines and shit, so they're calling me like a tampon and stuff. They're like, you're like a fucking tampon. You go once a month or whatever, you know, talking shit. Yeah. And but when I went there and I saw these guys, I was like, these guys all look like shit. They don't look like fucking soldiers. So I fucking got out right away and I told them I want to go full time. And then I went full time active duty right away. And as soon as I got to Fort Hood, that's where I was at, which is Killeen, Texas. It's near Central Texas, near Austin. But Fort Hood is the hood.
Is it?
It's the hood. And I'm thinking Texas. Well, fucking Texas is an awesome state. Fort Hood is the hood. Not only that, but Fort Hood is the most highly deployed base in all the military. So if you're going there, you better believe that you're going to war.
Yeah.
Right? Every single person that's in Fort Hood probably has gone twice, okay, to combat. And I was there, and then I went to, right away when I landed, they were like, I hope you didn't pack your bags. Hope you didn't unpack your bags. I go, what? Yeah, we're sending you away, buddy. So then right when I landed, I pretty much started training for Iraq right away with my team.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, my unit, I mean, my unit was a combat medic unit. We're a medevac unit. So we provide medical evacuation for the whole country of Iraq. We had like 70 Black Hawk helicopters. We had like 20 ground ambulance. I mean, we covered the whole country of Iraq with our unit. We had 1,000 soldiers in our battalion. And we're all medical personnel, and we're all high speed as fuck. Like we're jumping out of airplanes. We're doing we can do everything that any Marine can do and anyone else, you know?
So you're in combat, you're in the thick of it. I got to imagine you're not tuned into whatever the pop song is going off on the radio at the moment.
Nah.
So I feel like 2010, we might not spark any memories there.
Nah. I mean, well, I was in OIF3, so OIF3, my years and memories when it comes to like that stuff, it's like terrible.
It's tough.
It's terrible for me to remember. But OIF3 is way before. I think it was way before 2010. I think in 2000, fuck, I can't even remember, dude. I gotta look at my paperwork.
Yeah.
Whatever OIF3, that's when I was in Iraq, actually.
Does it feel at all like sometimes when you think about your past doing something so different like that, does it ever feel like almost like you're watching a movie or you're remembering a movie that you watched more than like you're thinking about you actually living it in that moment? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think for me, you mean now, like presently, if I think about it?
Right, yeah.
It's so crazy, man, because it's like a memory that's fading away.
Yeah.
And I think, and I don't know if that's because like, I think a lot of people, I think that's like one of the things that soldiers struggle with. Like when they say PTSD, it's like you'll lose memories, you repress memories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll forget about it. I remember it really well, but to me, for when I think about it, I really just think about like when we're out there, so obviously the things that we had to do, but then I think about like my fellowship with my friends, you know, like the camaraderie that we had. You know, that's what I think about the most, the camaraderie we had, the way we helped people. And you know, now that I'm older, you kind of have more information on why you went over there. You figure out it's a bunch of bullshit, you know, whether you agree with it or not. And, you know, you're just like, damn, I went over there and I did all this stuff. You know, I was saying earlier that my niece like came at me for, you know, some political stuff. And I told her, you know, she said something like, oh, well, congratulations on saying that you fought in a war that killed millions of our people, you know, on Middle Eastern. And I was like, millions of Middle Eastern people didn't die. You know, that's a lot of people, millions, you know, maybe thousands of Americans have died, thousands of Iraqis have died, not millions. But what we did out there was help people. You know, we would have to help our enemy. If we shot our enemy, we'd have to go stop him from bleeding and dying and get him into the hospital. You know, it's like if some soldier was in a war and the enemy's there, good or bad, we have to take care of them.
I didn't know that was
so
policy.
Yeah, so you have to take care of them, and you know, if anything, I mean, we're heroes. Like without the cape, you know what I mean? We literally were saving lives out there, blood missions, ambulance missions, 9-line medevacs, all that stuff. So you know, you repress a lot of the memories from all that stuff, but you know, I'm happy I'm a veteran. You know, I'm proud to be a veteran. I'm proud to have served my country, whether, you know, I believed in the cause or not. And I'm happy that I went through that experience because it did shape me to be the person I am as well.
Yeah.
It helped me.
For sure.
It polishes you off a little bit, you know? So.
I could only imagine.
Yep.
And thank you for your service.
I appreciate it.
Obviously. But yeah, I wasn't even asking that just because of the fact that you were a veteran and you were in combat and stuff. I just meant in general of thinking back far enough. Like for me, if I think back to high school, even I like the memories I have are not necessarily through my eyes. It's like a bird's eye view.
It's right
almost.
here. It's like somewhere in here.
Yeah, but like when I'm seeing it, when I picture like me in a classroom, I'm not picturing like the vision through my eyes, me looking at the teacher. I'm picturing like an above head camera almost of the entire class. You know what I mean?
Yep. That makes complete sense. That's how I would say I'd see it too. Like when I think about the military right now, like when I'm thinking right now, the first things that come to my mind is all the fights that we got into, bar fights. And when I see like, man, I remember we got in those bar fights, and I'm thinking it is from that bird's eye view.
It's like not from your own eyes, right? Yeah, exactly. Which is crazy. It's crazy for me. I think about that. I never
even thought about that before. Like how when you're really thinking about the past or some situation that you went through, it really is from this cloud.
Yeah.
It's like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It's wild.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get one thing going here. 2005, which is 18 years ago.
I don't even know what was going on in 2005. I think I might have been joining the military or something. Like I don't even know.
18 years ago makes you what? 20?
I'm 40 now.
2?
Yeah.
22. A young JAMEL Judah.
22. So I'm 22 years old. I am fucking jacked. I'm in shape.
Yeah.
Strong as fuck. I'm an asshole.
Where were you working out at? Bally's?
No, man. I was just like straight out the fucking Bally's.
You remember Bally's?
I did. I know where I used to go. I used to go to the one by Six Corners on Milwaukee and Irving Park or whatever. That Bally's. That's the Bally's I went to.
Yeah.
So funny, Bally's. That was a great place.
Yeah.
What was I doing at that time?
Well, okay, so these were the songs that were out. It was
During that time?
Kanye West, Gold Digger just dropped.
Oh man, I love Kanye.
Mario, Let Me Love You.
Oh man, those are the jams.
This was a big year. Sierra and Missy Elliott, 1-2 Step, and then 50 Cent in the Game, How We Do.
Damn. And when those songs played, what was I doing?
Yeah, like if you think back to when those songs were popular, when you were listening to those,
I
like
loved Kanye West, man. That song, oh my God, the workout plan and all that shit.
oh yeah, Off College Dropout. That was even before. I mean, College Dropout was what, 2002 maybe?
Oh, that was 2002?
Yeah, because Gold Digger's off Late Registration, which was the
Gold
second
Digger.
one.
Man, I was going out every night. I was going out like 5 nights a week. Like, and back then in Chicago, every club was dope. They had a dope night.
Yeah.
Every club was busy. Like, not every club, but every night was could be like a Saturday night.
Right.
You know, Monday, I forgot what was going on Monday.
Yeah, what was Industry Monday before the mid? Because when I started, it was the mid Mondays.
I believe that company's always owned Mondays.
Really?
Like, there's a thing about like all the people in our DNA, like our business. We've always had a night that we've owned. Like Daiko's night used to be like Matt Daiko was always like Tuesday. He wanted Tuesdays. You know, like that was Industry Tuesdays, you know, but the mid and those guys, like Sean and those guys, they've always owned Mondays. No one's ever taken Mondays away from them, you know? But then Tuesdays were Stone Lotus. Stone Lotus is Liquor Box.
Liquor Box, yeah.
Yeah. Tuesdays at Stone Lotus was fucking crazy. And Stone Lotus back then had a waterfall wall, and the girls, the go-go dancers were dancing on the waterfall wall, and they would be wetting, you know, they'd fucking be flipping their hair. It's sexy. It was the sexiest, hottest thing in the world.
That's tight.
And they're dancing, and the tables are right in front of the waterfall wall. So if you turned around, you had the baddest fucking girl in the whole city right there, booty shaking and shit. You know, and then you're sitting here watching, you're at your table, your little booth or whatever. But and then Wednesdays was Y Bar.
Damn.
Y Bar was like, and Y Bar on Wednesdays were like the wealthiest, like richest, like good looking, whatever. We're going there because Tony Macy, he was like, dude, that guy was like the fucking legend when it came to promo. This guy, Tony Macy. And then Thursdays were like Jesse and Chun at Y Bar and Enclave. And I worked at Enclave.
Headquarters is Enclave, right? Same building?
Dude, Enclave was a sick ass fucking club.
Yeah.
We had Lady Gaga on that motherfucker performing, all kinds of shit.
And it was the people who owned Cuvée also owned Enclave, right?
Yeah, and that's Jim Pohl, who owns Electric Hotel now.
That's right, yeah.
Like, he used to have like 2 of the hottest nightclubs in all of Chicago for a long time.
I remember right when I started DJing, when I was like 19, 20, never had done a real gig in my life. There was some internet flyer of like Enclaves looking for the new DJ, resident DJ, like come try out. Yeah, and it was some kind of like, you had to go there and do a little set, and I did, and
I forgot we used to do tryouts. That's cool as fuck. We should do that again. Do tryouts. We're gonna come up with something at Liquor Box that's gonna be really fun. Yeah, and maybe you can tell you're going to be involved in this. You don't know it yet. But we'll be, and what we're going to do is on Thursdays is we're going to have a battle of the DJs, but a true battle of the DJs, almost like the movie Juice.
Yeah, you want to do a real like DMC battle at Liquor Box?
30 minutes, and the crowd will have a way where the crowd can vote. Okay. I won't tell you too many details on how we're doing that, but it's going to be a real like side over here. You're on one side, the other DJs on the other side, and you guys are 30 minutes to give it what you got.
I'm ready, baby.
You know what? That's awesome, because you know, like when you're opening DJ, you can't fucking screw the DJ that's closing. You can't be playing all these bangers and shit, right? It's
a debate, you know, as old as the ages, but I feel like it's sort of at the times that we're in right now, this like TikTok era, this like I'm bored within 3 seconds, do something so I'm not bored, like keep my attention era. Mm-hmm. You kind of have to burn the closer.
A little bit.
You sort of have to, just to, if you want him to have a crowd by the time he gets there, you got to play shit that they like enough to keep him there.
You're right.
Even though like I am, you know, I prefer it to be more traditional where the opener's playing cool opener shit and the crowd is enjoying it enough to stay, but there is definitely an argument to where like the opener sort of does have to run a couple bangers to keep the crowd around.
He has to. But how does the closing DJ keep an eye on that? He doesn't want. You don't want to play. How do you not play the same songs over and over again? You know what I mean? Like, because I hear the same songs sometimes. It fucking drives me nuts. But you know, I would assume that the closing DJ's like, did that motherfucker just play that song? Or no, I don't want to play that song because he just played it.
So some people, if you're on Serato, if you have your computer while you're DJing, you have a history of what you played. So sometimes the closer will come in and be like, yo, let me see your history. Not to be like, let me make sure you didn't play some of my shit, but more so to be like, all right, you played this, I'm going to play this shit. Like you were in this little pocket. Maybe you were in the 75 to 85 BPM pocket playing all that shit. I'm going to play like the house shit. I'll play EDM, club bangers, whatever. I'll switch it up. So there's that. You can see that. And then also, if they played it before you were there, it doesn't really matter that much.
No.
Like, especially if maybe it was an hour before.
Yeah.
So if you play one of the hits like early enough, let's say you're opening 10 to 12 and you play Ski Yee at 11, it's not really going to matter by 12:30 to play it again.
Yeah.
But as a matter of fact, the people that heard it at 11 probably want to hear it again at 12:30.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like,
yeah, and then and maybe you see the girls, you're like, hold on, if I play this right now, they're gonna go off.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. But it gets a little disrespectful if you're there. If you pull up to close, you come 20 minutes early, 15 minutes early, whatever, and then the opener is like running hits in front of you. That's like, what are you doing, bro? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Does that happen?
Oh, yeah. That happened to me and Cutswell in Nashville, bro. Right before we got on, we were there like 30 minutes earlier. Yeah, Cutswell's the best. And we were there 30 minutes early, drinking, hanging out. And this kid's like quick mixing through like every song that we're supposed to be playing. So we get on with like nothing to play. But it's part of the game.
Do you guys say something? Do you confront? You ever confront someone on that?
You usually go to Twitter. You talk some shit on Twitter.
That's funny. That is so funny. That's like with us, with like the VIP host, man. You're cutthroats. You're like, oh fuck this. Don't be fucking talking to my client. Don't be fucking texting my client. Don't be booking my client. You got to own your client, but you legit own them.
That's
and if
crazy.
You can't own them, and the clients don't want to feel owned, you know?
Right?
And they don't want to feel like the client because you know you're becoming a friend with them. You know, you're building a relationship with them. Not in the beginning, you're not going to be friends. Obviously, you're trying to get there, but really, you're building a relationship. The best VIP hosts build a relationship with them, and then own them through, because we do life together. We're going to dinner, we're doing this, we're doing that. You actually develop a friendship.
Yeah.
But then it's a slippery slope because now they're spending $10,000-$20,000, you know, fucking month or whatever it may be, you know. God bless them for having it.
That is a thin line to not have to have to keep balanced.
It's a very thin line, but you know, whoever knows how to really, you know, you have to be honest. You have to be very transparent. I think for me, one of the good things that helped me is that I'm going to be honest with you. This is what it is. This is what, you know, if you want, this is what it is. And if you want to not go past this limit, I'll make sure you don't. Other people will fucking take you and they know they can spend 10 grand. They're getting that 10 grand out of you right now.
Bro, I'd never seen anything as like ridiculously shady as I did when I worked at the strip club, bro.
Oh yeah,
clubs, bro. Love like it. The way that these girls all, like everyone in there is working together. The stripper, the server, with the manager, with the owner, like everyone's on the same page of like, get this motherfucker fucked up and get him to spend as much as we can take him for.
Yeah, yeah. And my buddy, the one I was talking about, he was at Scores. Maybe I think it was right after COVID. And he spent $130,000 at Scores.
And they got you on 17 different cameras, signing your shit.
He is blacked out, okay? Like he was blacked out, all right? And he's like thinking, you know, once he saw 20,000, he's like, yeah, we could go a little bit more because it's like a company party, you know, there's other people there. And all of a sudden, you know, it's at 120,000. The next day he calls me, he goes, hey, I fucking spent 120,000. You know anyone over there? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, I know people over there. I go, but I don't think that they're going to give you a discount on that at all, man. Like you did it. It's gone. Like those girls made their money, and they're not gonna say, "Hey, take my money back."
Fuck no.
No.
Not unless you buy their panties or something.
I don't know. I think he went on a double date with. I think he went on a date with two of the girls from like the next week. Two of the girls with him alone, and he thought he was gonna get this whole. I was like, bro, you're not getting anything from these girls. They're trying to get you to go back in. 100%.
Yes. They're like, last time he was here, he spent 120 grand. So let's get him fucking back in there.
He called, we have this code word, and he was at Maple and Ash. So he, sent me the text, like the code word or whatever. I go over there. He's with these two gorgeous blonde strippers, but they're like the older ones. Like they're the ones that have been in the game for a minute. They're not like the young hot ones. They're hot, but they're like the seasoned veterans. Like they're probably in their 30s and something like that. And they're one of them's got kids and shit. But like they're legit like masterminding how we're gonna get this guy again. They'll kiss you on the cheek and shit, hold your hand and flirt with you, make you feel special. But he's, by the way, a mastermind in his own. He knows everything. I know you want my money. I'm gonna show you some gold too, just so I can get what I want.
That is kind of the game that you're playing, huh?
Who wins? We don't know.
That is the question.
Yeah.
Who wins?
We're gonna find out who's gonna win. Is it gonna be the girls, the two girls, or him? Probably the two girls.
How does he win? What would be considered a win for him?
I think that if he would have had the threesome, he never did. It didn't work out because he ended up just blowing them off.
Yeah.
Because I think they were just saying little stupid comments or whatever.
Yeah.
But if he had the threesome and if it cost him $10,000, I don't think he would care.
That's a win.
That's like, all right, that's like a wash.
Yeah. They got a couple bucks from me.
Yeah, exactly.
But I got what I wanted.
Yeah, I got what I wanted.
Yeah.
Did I have fun? That would be the win. If he had fun, that would be a win. If he didn't have fun, he's like, fuck those bitches.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wish I had that much money.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. When I'm a millionaire, I'm gonna be the best millionaire you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be in any nightclub ever.
I'll be in a nightclub.
I'll be in my home theater.
Everywhere. I'll be in a nightclub, home theater. I'll be in Miami. I'm telling you, remember this. When I'm a millionaire, there's not going to be a cooler millionaire than I will. I'll promise you that.
Just look right into the camera and let them know.
Guys, mark my words.
Yeah. That's amazing. All right. So you got nominated by Nico to be on the pod. I signed up to do the late show, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. every Friday at Liquor Box.
That's right.
Residency. So I wanted to get at least one pod a month in, with a Liquor Box person and promote the night a little bit.
Nice. Good.
Show the venue some love. So you got to nominate the next people or person to be on here.
I want to nominate some of my servers, Mariella, Danny, and Yvette. That's what
Yvette, I know.
You know Yvette?
I know Yvette, yes. I don't know if I know the other two, but
either Yvette or Maggie, one of like at least three of my girls, but Danny and Mariella for sure, because they're awesome, man. They're funny.
They're gonna come spill some tea on here, or what?
They'll definitely spill some tea, I'm sure. They're lighthearted, but they're almost like bros, They're like guys the way they handle things. Like they do not get punked. They will be punking.
All right, I like that.
Yeah,
that's perfect. All right, so you got to link me with them after this. We'll make it happen.
For sure.
All right, thank you for joining me, bro. This was a great pod. I learned a lot about you. We had great conversation. I feel like this is going to be a real good one.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming. You're going to have to come back on.
For sure.
And also, you said you want to start your own, right?
Yeah.
You got a name for it?
No name yet.
Not yet?
Right now, I'm just going to wait until this winter gets through the winter. And then when spring comes, I'll start remodeling the house. And in the basement, I'll make into a studio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then we'll come up with a name. I think what I'll be talking about will be industry stuff. I'll be a little bit of everything. Politics, sports, industry, relationships, all that.
All that. Yeah, we didn't even get to talk about our girlfriends. Next time.
Next time. That's funny.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like the video, drop a little comment, subscribe to the channel. Algorithm activating activity. That's what we like to see over here. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Peace.